गुड आफ्टरनून टू एवरीबॉडी। त्रिहम प्रतियोगिता संस्थान लेके आया है कंप्लीट एनसीईआरटी सोल्यूशन विज्ञान वर्ग के छात्रों के लिए, स्पेशली फॉर हाई स्कूल। इट्स अ कंप्लीट solution of NCERT textbook, which the exercises that are given in your books. We have provided you the solution chapter wise. Here we take the chapter chemical reaction and equation. Here we take the chapter chemical reaction and equation, which is the first chapter of chemistry. The first question is, which of the statement about the reaction below are incorrect? The equation is given 2 PbO in a state of solid plus carbon in a state of solid gives out 2 Pb solid plus carbon dioxide in the gaseous form. Lead is getting reduced, carbon dioxide is getting oxidized, carbon is getting oxidized, and lead oxide is getting reduced. So let us see. Here's the options: 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1, 2 and 3, and all the statements are correct. So the correct answer is solution A, any first and second. Now let us see what is happening here, why this is a correct answer. In the above reaction, the lead oxide, that is PbO, the lead oxide is getting converted to the lead, and carbon is getting converted to the carbon dioxide. See, lead oxide is getting to lead, ठीक, and C is adding by oxygen, ठीक है. Lead oxide is losing oxygen, whereas the carbon is gaining oxygen, ठीक है. And we know that the loss of oxygen is known as reduction. Loss of oxygen is known as reduction, while the gaining oxygen is called oxidation. Hence, lead oxide is getting reduced and carbon is getting reduced. Okay. Thus, statement third and fourth are wrong. Statement third and fourth are wrong. Are correct, sorry. Whereas statement first and second are incorrect. Okay. This is the first question. Now, look at the other question. The other equation is, you have Fe2O3 plus 2Al gives out Al2O3 plus 2Fe. The above reaction is an example of combination reaction, double displacement reaction, decomposition reaction, displacement reaction. So the right answer is displacement reaction. Why? In the given reaction, the ferric oxide Fe2O3, the given reaction, the ferric oxide is getting converted to the iron, while aluminium is getting oxidized to aluminum oxide. Aluminium is getting oxidized to aluminum oxide. Thus, iron is going from combined state. Iron is going from combined state to free state, whereas aluminium is going to from free state to combined state reaction. Such reaction is called displacement reaction. Okay? Because in the displacement reaction, the more reactive metal, if we are studying about the reactivity series, aluminium in this case displaces the less reactive metal ferric, because aluminium is stand over the ferric, right, form its compound. Let us see the another question. What happens when dilute hydrochloric acid is added to iron fillings? Take the correct answer. Hydrogen gas and iron chloride are produced. Chlorine gas and iron hydroxide are produced. No reaction takes place. Iron salt and water are produced. So the correct answer is hydrogen gas and iron chloride are produced. Let us see the solution. When metal reacts with the acid, hydrogen gas is evolving along with the formation of respective salt metals. So look, Fe plus 2HCl. Then Fe react with this chlorine, 2 chlorine here, then it make FeCl2. It make FeCl2 plus hydrogen gases evolve in this question. Now come to the another question, that is, what is the balanced chemical equation? Why should chemical equation be balanced? We have to answer this question. A chemical reaction in which the number of atoms of each elements are equal on both. Here we can write the reaction like this: A plus K gives out C, suppose, or C plus D. Let me write. In reactant sites, these are the reactants and these are the, in this equation, these are the reactants and these are the products. Okay, reactant and products is called a balanced chemical equation. An example of balanced chemical equation is given below. Look at that. N2 plus 3H2 gives out 2NH3. It's formation of ammonia. It is the reaction that is formation of ammonia. As we can see, there are 2 atoms of nitrogen and 6 atoms of hydrogen, while of hydrogen on the both sides, and hence this reaction is called a balanced chemical reaction. Look at here is nitrogen is 2 and here nitrogen is 2. Now hydrogen 3 2s are 6 hydrogen, 2 3s are 6 hydrogen. So the number of nitrogen equal to the number of nitrogen from reactant side to product side, and number of hydrogen from reactant side is equal to the number of hydrogen from product side. So it is a balanced chemical reaction. A reaction should always be written in the balanced form, as an unbalanced reaction violates the fundamental principle of law of conservation of mass. Law of conservation of mass, what is the law of conservation of mass? It is that the total mass of reactant should be equal to the total mass of the product. Total mass of the reaction should be total mass of the products. Okay, hence the reaction should be written in the balanced form. The law of charge conservation, total sum of charge in both sides. What is the law of charge of conservation? The total charge, the total sum of charge in both sides, that is the reactant or product side, must be zero. Must be zero. Law of conservation of mass states that the mass can neither be created or nor be destroyed. The mass can neither be created or nor can be destroyed. Hence, in a chemical reaction, the total mass of reactant should be equal to the mass of the product. Okay, it means that the total number of atoms of each element should be equal on both sides of a chemical equation. Hence, it is for this reason that the chemical equation should be what? Balanced. Now, the question: translate the following statement into chemical equation and then balance them. We have to translate the equations in the equation form and then balance. Look at that. Hydrogen gas combines with nitrogen to form ammonia. Here, hydrogen 3H2 plus N2 gives out 2NH3. Hydrogen gas combined with nitrogen and form ammonia. NH3 is the formula of ammonia. Another one, hydrogen sulfide gas burns in air to give water and sulfur dioxide. Hydrogen sulfide 2H2S plus 3O2. Hydrogen sulfide reacts with oxygen and gives out water and sulfur dioxide. This is the reaction, and we have written the equation in the balance form also. Barium chloride reacts with the aluminium sulfate. Barium denoted by Ba. Then barium chloride is BaCl2. Barium chloride reacts with the aluminium sulfate to give aluminium chloride and precipitate of barium sulfate. Precipitate of barium sulfate. Then the equation is 3BaCl2 plus Al2. 3BaCl2 plus Al2 gives out 2AlCl3 plus 3BaSO4. Okay, and BaSO4 is formed in the form of precipitate. The fourth one, potassium metal. Potassium, okay, is a very reactive metal. Potassium metal reacts with water to give potassium hydroxide. Then we write 2K in a solid state plus 2H2 gives out 2KOH plus H2. Okay. Now the next question is, balance the following chemical equation. Balance the following chemical equation. Right. So we have written here in the balance form, HNO3 plus COH का whole twice gives out CaNO3 का whole twice plus H2O NaOH plus H2SO4 gives out Na2SO4 plus H2O. So look at that. HNO3 plus CaOH का whole twice gives out CaNO3 का whole twice plus H2O. Then the balance equation is 2HNO3 plus CaOH का whole twice gives out CaNO3 का whole twice and 2H2. Okay. The total procedure of balancing the equation we have provided in our next video, how to balance the equations, that is in form of a video form, a live form, so you can easily understand that one. Here is the only solutions we have provided. Another equation, NaOH plus H2SO4 gives out Na2SO4 plus H2O. That is, the balance equation is here Na is 1, here Na is 2. Then look at it, 2 NaOH plus H2SO4 gives out Na2SO4 plus 2H2. Number of hydrogen you are looking here 2 and 3, and here only 2. So for balancing, look at that, 2 to 4, 2 2 is 4, balanced. Next equation, NaCl plus AgNO3 gives out AgCl plus NaNO3, right? Is we need to balance it? No, we didn't, because it is already balanced equation. Look at that, Na1, Na1, Cl1, Cl1, Ag1, Ag1, NO3 whole 1, NO3 whole 1. No need of balance. BaCl2 plus H2SO4 gives out BaSO4 plus HCl. It is also balanced except the HCl molecules. Here is HCl only, so we have to balance and put the molecules to HCl. Now come to the other question. Write the balanced chemical equation for the following reaction. So then we have to write the equation first and then balance. Calcium hydroxide plus carbon dioxide. Calcium hydroxide, that is COH का whole twice, plus carbon dioxide, that is CO2, calcium carbonate, that is CaCO3, and water, that is H2. Another, zinc plus silver nitrate. Zinc, that is zinc, Zn. Silver nitrate, that is AgNO3. Zinc nitrate, that is ZnNO3's whole twice, and the silver, that is 2Ag. Now the third one, aluminium, that is Al, plus copper chloride, that is CuCl2, gives out aluminium chloride, that is AlCl3, and plus copper. Now the last one, barium chloride, BaCl2, plus potassium sulfate, K2SO4, gives out BaSO4 plus 2Kc. Okay. Now come to the next question. Firstly, question number 8, write the balanced chemical equation for the following and identify the type of the reaction in each cases. Number 1, potassium bromide plus barium iodide gives out potassium iodide plus barium bromide. Then the equation is given in the form 2 KBr plus BaI2, potassium bromide plus barium iodide, and it is given 2 Ki plus BaBr2. In this reaction, you are saying the Br is react with barium, and I2 means iodine react with potassium. Hence, this reaction is an exchange of ions between the reactants, so it is double displacement. It is double displacement reaction. Now the another one, zinc carbonate gives out zinc oxide plus carbon dioxide. ZnCO3, zinc carbonate, gives out ZnO plus CO2. In this reaction, what are you saying? That single reactant breaks down to give simpler product. So it is decomposition. It is break in two parts, 1 and 2. So it is what? Decomposition and single decomposition. Okay. Decomposition. The third one is hydrogen plus chlorine gives out hydrogen chloride. Hydrogen plus chlorine gives out hydrogen chloride. That is H2 plus Cl2 gives out 2HCl. In this reaction, the single product is formed. H2 plus Cl2 and is single from two reactants. So it is a combination. It is a combination. This plus this make only this. Okay. Then it is the reaction of combination. Right. Now the final one, the D, magnesium plus hydrochloric acid gives out magnesium chloride plus hydrogen. We have seen the D. Magnesium, Mg plus 2HCl gives out MgCl2. Mg plus 2HCl. Then it reacts with the chlorine molecules of these which having by the HCl, MgCl2, and the hydrogen is evolved. In this reaction, magnesium is displaced or remove chloride ion. Displace or remove chloride ion. So it is called a displacement reaction. It is called the displacement reaction. Now come to the another question. Question number 9. What does the mean by exothermic and endothermic reaction? Give the example. So you have already studied the exothermic reaction. Chemical reaction that release energy in the form of heat or sound are called exothermic. Look at there. Here is the word X. EX. X means exit, right? So the exit of, we can say, energy in the form of heat हो गया, sound हो गया, in the form of heat and sound are called exothermic. So the reaction in which the energy is released is known as exothermic. Example, mixture of sodium and chlorine yield table salt. Sodium Na plus Cl2 gives out 2NaCl and 401 kilojoule of energy. In this reaction, when sodium react with chlorine, it forms the salt, generally we use in the kitchen. Table salt is known as, and plus 401 kilojoule of energy. Example 2, combustion reaction of burning of energy. Yes. Combustion, methane CH4 plus 2O2. Already we have studied in the class that if the combustion reaction with the organic compound, carbon dioxide and the water always form, we have to just balance the equations. Okay, plus heat plus energy, right? Another example, respiration. We are taking respiration. Then C6H12O6, that is glucose, and glucose when mixed with oxygen, it makes 6 carbon dioxide plus 6 H2. The carbon dioxide is released by the plant, released by the men and women and all the having the life, and energy is released. This carbon dioxide is used by the plant. So animal release carbon dioxide with energy. Endothermic reaction. What is the endothermic reaction? Now we are talking about the reaction that will absorb. In means inter. We know inter. Endothermic reaction that absorb energy or require energy to order to process are called endothermic, in which the energy is entered. Okay, yeah, absorb the energy, in which the reaction absorb the energy is called endothermic. Look at the example of endothermic. We have, while silver chloride turns gray in sunlight, this is due to the decomposition of silver chloride in presence of which sunlight and silver and chlorine form. 2AgCl gives out 2AgCl in sunlight gives out 2Ag plus Cl. Okay, then it need the sunlight, due to which it converted into silver and chlorine. Okay. Now the next question: why is respiration considered as an exothermic reaction? Explain it briefly. The carbohydrates that we used in the food, the carbohydrates are broken down into the form of glucose. This glucose combine when the glucose react with oxygen, combine with oxygen in our cells, in the cells of our body, then it provides energy. We get the energy from the food that we have eaten. Okay, so it is a exothermic reaction. C6H12O6 plus 6O2 gives us 6CO2 plus 6H2 plus energy. The next question: why are decomposition reactions called the opposite of combination reaction? Right equation for these reactions. Decomposition. Okay, the solution. Decomposition reaction are those which have a compound breaks down from two or more substances. In the decomposition, we have the compounds that are breaks down from two or more substances. While in the combination reaction, single product is formed from two or more reactants. Okay, thus decomposition reaction is exact opposite of the combination. Look at here the example: 2H2, it decomposes in H2 plus O2. Okay, while when H2 and O2 reacts with each other, it gives H2O and energy also. Okay, it is clear. Now come to the other question number 12. Write one equation which for decomposition reaction where energy is supplied in the form of heat, light or energy. Okay, so the equation the thermal decomposition of ferrous sulfate, 2FeSO4 is a formula of ferrous sulfate. When heated, then Fe2O3, ferric oxide plus sulfur dioxide plus sulfur trioxide are formed. These are in combined form. This reaction is right. FeSO4 gives out Fe2O3 plus SO2 plus SO3. These reactions are known as thermal decomposition. Okay. Another example we have here: decomposition of AgCl in presence of light. 2AgCl, silver chloride. It is the formula of silver chloride. In the presence of light, gives silver and chlorine. Right. Another example: decomposition of silver bromide in the presence of light. We have used silver bromide in the photographic films also. 2AgBr in presence of light gives out 2Ag plus Br. Okay. Another example is decomposition by electricity. Aluminium oxide decompose in aluminium and oxygen. Okay. Now come to the next question. What is the difference between the displacement and double displacement reaction? Write the equation for these equations. Okay. Displacement reaction, a more reactive element replaces a less reactive element from a compound. That is CuSO4 plus Zn gives out ZnSO4 plus Cu. Cu replaced by Z. Okay, because Zn is more reactive than CuSO4. If we are talking about the reverse of this equation, it is not possible because copper sulfate is not more reactive than zinc. And zinc is more reactive metal as compared to the copper, so zinc displaces the copper in the copper ion in the copper. In the double displacement reaction, two compounds react and positive ion and the negative ion of the two reactions switch places from each other. For example, look at here the example. Na2SO4 plus BaCl2. Then these Na ion reacts with these chloride ions and these barium ion reacts with these sulfate ion and we get BaSO4 plus 2NaCl. Okay, this is the example of double displacement reaction. Now to the question number 14. In the refining of silver, the recovery of silver from nitrate solution involved displacement by copper metal, right, on the reaction. The reaction is 2AgNO3, that is silver nitrate, plus copper. 2AgNO3 plus copper. Hence, copper is more reactive than silver. Then it makes CuNO3 is whole twice, that is copper nitrate, plus 2Ag, that is silver. Another question. What do you mean by a precipitation reaction? What is the precipitation reaction? Okay. Look at here the answer. What is the precipitation reaction? Along with the examples. A reaction in which an insoluble solid called precipitate is formed. Insoluble solid is formed is known as precipitation reaction. For example, Na2CO3 means sodium carbonate plus calcium carbonate gives out calcium carbonate plus 2NaCl. Na2CO3 plus CaCl2 gives out CaCl2. Na react with this chlorine and Ca react with this carbonate. They interchange their places. CaCO3 plus 2NaCl. In this reaction, calcium carbonate is obtained as a precipitate. So, it is called a precipitation reaction. Another example we have here, Na2SO4 means a sodium sulfate. When react with barium chloride, it forms barium sulfate plus 2NaCl. In this reaction, barium sulfate is obtained as a precipitate. Now another question. Explain the following in the term of gain or loss of the oxygen with two examples is here. What is the oxidation? What is the reduction? So we know oxidation plus oxygen. Oxidation means plus oxygen. Yani oxidation is the gain of the oxygen. Is called oxidation. Example, carbon dioxide plus H2. Hence, look at here. CO plus H2. H2O get oxidized with the oxygen. Addition of oxygen. Okay. 2 copper plus O2. Then O2 reacts with copper and carbon is attached with it. Mean gain oxygen oxidation. Okay. Here, which is oxidized? Oxygen is oxidized. Okay. Another question. Hydrogen is oxidized to H2 because in which oxygen is added? In hydrogen is added. Then it is called H2. And in the next formula, the copper is oxidized because copper oxygen is added in which? Copper. So we know that in which element oxygen is added, that is called oxidized. What is the reduction? Reduction is the loss of oxygen. While the oxidation is the gain of the oxygen. Example, carbon dioxide plus H2 gives out CO. What are you getting here? Carbon dioxide. From the carbon dioxide, it makes CO. Loss of one carbon. Okay. So, reducing agent is carbon dioxide. Cu plus H2 gives out Cu. Then, removal of oxygen from here. In the equation 1, carbon dioxide is reduced to CO. And in equation 2, CO is reduced to copper. Okay. Now come to the another question. Question number 17. A shiny brown colored element acts on heating in air, becomes black in the color. Name the element X. Name the element X and a black colored compound. Hence the solution is that X is a copper and the black colored compound form is copper oxide. It is the equation of reaction involved in heating copper is given below. 2 copper plus oxygen. It is shiny brown in the color. When you are going to your laboratories, you get the copper. It is shiny brown the color, and when it reacts with oxygen, it convert into the black color. Okay. The next question is a very important question used in our daily routine. Why do we apply paint? Why do we apply paint on iron articles? Okay. So iron in the presence of moisture reacts with oxygen to form hydrated iron oxide. Reaction is 4Fe plus 3O2 gives out 2Fe2O3 plus NH2. Here the N is not identified, whatever 1, 2, 3 and a whole number, whatever. Hydrated iron oxide is rust. Hydrated iron oxide is rust, and iron articles are painted because it prevents from the rusting. Okay, so to prevent from the rusting, we apply paint on the iron article. When we painted it, the contact of iron article from moisture and air is cut off, hence the rusting is prevented. Their presence is essential for using takes place. Okay. Oil and fat containing food items are flushed with nitrogen. Why? Are flushed with nitrogen. We are using the chips and all that. Nitrogen is an inert gas and does not easily with these substances. On the other hand, oxygen reacts with food substances and make them rancid. Thus, the bags which are used in the chips we use the other items which are packed in the polythenes and polyparticles. Bags are used in packing food items are flushed by nitrogen gas because and to remove the oxygen inside the bag, because the nitrogen is a inert gas, it does not react, while the oxygen will react with the food substances and make them rancid. So the rancidity of oil and fat containing food item is avoided. Now come to the another question. It's a question number 20, your final question. Explain the following terms with one example. Corrosion. What is the corrosion? What is the rancidity? Come first to the corrosion. Corrosion is defined as a process. Corrosion is a process where materials, usually metals, deteriorate as a result of chemical reaction. As a result of chemical reaction with which? Air, moistures, chemicals, etc. For example, air. In the presence of moisture, reacts with oxygen to form hydrated iron oxide. Hence, the reaction, which is a process, the adding of moistures, reactions, all that in the presence of oxygen is called corrosion. 4Fe plus 3O2 gives out 2Fe2O3. That is ferric hydroxide, and it is iron oxide. Oxide is a rust. Which is formed a layer over the metal. Another one, rancidity. The process of oxidation of fats. The process of oxidation of fats in oil. Here is the process of oxidation with the process with the metal. The process of oxidation of fats in oil that can be easily noticed by the change in the taste and smell is known as rancid. Generally, you keep the bread and all that for 2 or 3 more days, then it becomes sour and smelly, and you can't eat it. And if you eat it, you get ill. So this is called rancidity. For example, the taste and smell of butter change when we kept long. Rancidity can be when long. How can we avoid it? This rancidity can be avoided by storing food in an airtight container. You have to store the food in airtight container. Storing food in a refrigerator also, it reduces the temperature. Hence, the process of rancidity takes more time. Adding antioxidants which are avoid the oxygen and adding antioxidants to the foods, and also storing food in an environment of nitrogen, like packing up chips and all that. Okay, these are the exercises, these are the questions that you have studied in your first chapter of chemical equation and reaction of chemistry. I hope that you have understood the whole chapter. We will come back with the next chapter from next video. Kindly subscribe our channel and just to our pair. Thank you.